come January, I hope that would be completed. But if not, then I'd advocate a time frame that would be done responsibly.
Governor Richardson?
I'm trying to provoke a debate here because there's a difference between the senators and me on when we get our troops out. I've been very clear. 6 months, but no residual forces. Senator Clinton has a plan that I understand is maybe 50,000 residual forces. Our troops have become targets. The diplomatic
Is that even
work,
possible? 6 months?
the diplomatic work cannot begin to heal Iraq, to protect our interests without our troops out. Our troops have become targets. You're going to say 6 months because there's a civil war, it might provoke a civil war. There is a civil war. There is sectarian conflict. The time has come, and I hope I get challenged. I have no troops left. 100 are dying a month.
Time. Senator Biden?
Number one, there's not a single military man in this audience who will tell this senator he can get those troops out in 6 months if the order goes today. Let's start telling the truth. Number one, you take all the troops out, you better have helicopters ready to take those 3,000 civilians inside the green zone where I've been 7 times and shot at. You better make sure you have protection for them or let them die. Number one. So you can't leave them there. And it's going to take a minimum of 5,000 troops to 10,000 just to protect our civilians. So while you're taking them out, Governor, take everybody out. That may be necessary. Number three, the idea that we all voted, except for me, for that appropriation. That man's son is dead. For all I know, it was an IED. 70% of all the deaths occurred have been those roadside bombs. We have money in that bill to begin to build and send immediately mine-resistant vehicles that increased by 80% the likelihood none of your cadets will die, General.
Time.
And they all voted against it. How in good conscience can you vote not to send those vehicles over there as long as there's one single solitary troop there?
Senator Clinton?
You know, I've put forth a comprehensive 3-point plan to get our troops out of Iraq, and it does start with moving them out as soon as possible. But Joe is right. You know, I have done extensive work on this, and the best estimate is that we can probably move a brigade a month if we really accelerate it, maybe a brigade and a half or 2 a month. That is a lot of months. My point is they're not even planning for that in the Pentagon. You know, Mr. Barry, I am so sorry about the loss of your son, and I hope to goodness your youngest son doesn't face anything like that. But until we get this president and the Pentagon to begin to at least tell us they are planning to withdraw, we are not going to be able to turn this around. And so, with all due respect to some of my friends here, yes, we want to begin moving the troops out, but we want to do so safely and orderly and carefully. We don't want more loss of American life and Iraqi life as we attempt to withdraw. And it is time for us to admit that it's going to be complicated, so let's start it now.
Congressman Kucinich?
The underlying assumption here is that we're going to be in Iraq until the next president takes office, and I reject that totally. People can send a message to Congress right now, and this is a convention of this appearance. They can text peace. And text 73223, text peace, send a message to Congress right now you want out. I introduced a plan 4 years ago, Anderson, that was a full plan to remove our troops. I'm the only one on this stage, excuse me, who not only voted against the war, but voted against funding the war. It is not credible to say you opposed the war from the start when you voted to fund it 100% of the time, 70%, 5% of the time. Let's get real about this war. Let's get those troops home, and let's take a stand and do it now. Send a message to Congress now. We cannot wait till the next president takes office.
We've got to take a short break. As we go to break, we're going to show another campaign commercial, this one from Senator Mike Gravel.
George Bush's oil war was a mistake. We need to stop killing Americans and Iraqis. Been around since the beginning of time. It's not a war. It should be a police action based on global intelligence. The most serious problem facing humanity today. A universal voucher system will provide equal treatment and choice of providers. The Congress has to stop raiding the surplus.
of candidates here.
Any of them actually been a boss or a governor or something?
No.
None of these.
Any of them create jobs?
No.
Well, this guy here passed a tax credit for creating jobs if they pay above the prevailing wage.
Really?
And a tax credit for brand new industries like wind and solar. Ended up creating over 80,000 jobs in the state. Says that's what he'll do as president.
I'm Bill Richardson, and I approve this message.
And welcome back to the CNN YouTube debate. That was obviously a YouTube-style video from Governor Richardson's campaign. This next question is on the topic of education.